Okay, let me be real with you. Yes, this video is kind of made for the beginner to fragrances, but I also think that this video could serve those of you who've been around for a while because of the fragrances we're actually talking about. But I do have some very particular philosophy behind how I put this video together, how I put these fragrances in this video that I think really could help the beginner. All of that meaning that this selection of fragrances is not necessarily trying to do what you might see other videos like this offer, which is fragrances to make you smell good and get you compliments. As I've said many times, and I won't dive into it in this video, any fragrance can get you compliments. Moving on. I could sit here and recommend low to the ground fragrances that you'll see across 17,000 other videos on YouTube, but I don't think that actually serves you. And I know that there are those who would argue,
well, Justin, the beginner has to start at the beginning. Where did you start? You started with designers, you started with the basic stuff, and you start there and you grow and you graduate into the more complicated stuff, right?
Kind of. That is kind of my journey, but honestly, if I had to go back, I would not redo my journey the way it was, and I would not recommend it to a beginner today, because it resulted in me having dozens and dozens of bottles that I bought blindly off of recommendations from YouTube that I ultimately didn't need and ended up selling because I grew out of them very quickly. So yeah, I do kind of see value in taking the windy road through mainstreamville, which is again what I did. But I don't think that this fragrance journey needs to be taken the same way by everyone. All of that being said, I will be avoiding what I believe to be our off the wall, artistic, crazy, complicated fragrances that few would feel confident wearing. But I will be offering choices that I think are interesting, unique, and off the beaten path, but still likable and wearable. Now, that doesn't mean all of them will be guaranteed loves. Some of them you may have to grow into. And that's why I will have links down below to samples of all 10 fragrances, so you do not have to commit to full bottles of anything before you know you love it. And to add some structure, I've assigned each of the 10 fragrances to a separate life scenario that I think we all can relate to, just to add some function to this video. It's not just about smelling stuff, it's about wearing it out into the world and interacting with your environment with that fragrance. So let's dive right into it. Our first category is what I call the easy grab. This is a daily wear. It could be a signature scent. It could be something that you can pick up and spray without having to think about it, no matter where you're going, no matter what time of the year it is. You know that you're going to smell the way you want to smell. You're going to enjoy your scent, and others will most likely do the same. That being said, my choice for this is not what you would think. This is not some cheapy, easy breezy, basic freshy blue fragrance that you would see in a lot of other videos. This fragrance is a fragrance I have really grown to love. It does wear pretty simply, but it is a high quality scent. It's called Gambit from the House of Mind Games. The first thing I'm going to say about this fragrance is that it is very expensive. And you might be like, Justin, why are you recommending expensive fragrances to the beginner? Once again, I don't think this journey needs to be taken the same way every time. And second, samples. This fragrance is $375 roughly retail for 100 milliliter bottle, which I'm not going to be linking down below. You have no business buying a full bottle of this stuff before you've tried it. Mind Games does offer a variety of really cool discovery sets. This was sent over to me by my friends at So Avant-Garde, but we do have a discount code for Mind Games directly down below that you can use on any purchase, including the sample set. And I love Mind Games because they have this really clear aesthetic of chess, as you saw with the bottle, and this is supposed to represent like a chess set. And this is the woody set, so it features 5 of their hallmark woody fragrances, Gambit actually being one of them. And with this set comes the travel atomizer, which includes this really nice metal travel case where you can insert any one of these, I think 10 milliliter decants, maybe it's 8, 7.5. So I highly recommend getting one of these first before you get a full bottle. And hell, you might like one of the other ones more than you like Gambit, but Gambit is one I'm really digging. It's the one I know the most out of those, so it's one I would recommend. It is a fresh fragrance. It does smell kind of like a way more natural, more upscale version of the Dior Sauvage DNA, believe it or not, but it's mostly adjacent to that. It's not exactly that. There is this fresh, almost spicy shower gel like feel, but there's a deep woodiness, there's some spice. Again, it does smell way more elevated than your typical mainstream fresh designer for men. Totally worth checking out. Again, easy to wear, but you can tell that there's there's a difference. So yeah, I would start with Gambit as an easy grab, take it or leave it. For work, this is basically any professional scenario, but I know a lot of people work in an environment where they want to have a professional vibe. Maybe it's a traditional office, maybe it's not, but the vibe can be had nonetheless. And a great fragrance I would recommend for that is Ormonde Man from Ormonde Jayne. This is a classic scent, timeless scent. Came out like 20 years ago, but does not smell like it. This is a fresh green cardamom fragrance, spicy, cooling, a good dose of juniper in here. There's almost this like tree sappy, nutty like sweetness and a very easygoing musky woody base to kind of round it off. This fragrance has a texture to it that is very definitive, easy to enjoy, but doesn't really smell like anything else that came before it. So that's Ormonde Man from Ormonde Jayne, easily slept on brand. And in case you're wondering if I have any designers in this video, yes, I have a few designers that I personally love that I think are worth checking out and not exactly like all the other mainstream stuff out there. And this scenario is Relax. This is a fragrance that you would wear for yourself. Maybe you're lounging at home, you're just going to be relaxing on a day when you don't have much to do and you want to spray something on that's easy and fresh. I think fresh fragrances are always a great way to relax. And this one is quite literally supposed to depict the feeling of fresh rainwater. From Bvlgari, we have Man Rain Essence. One of my favorite flanker releases from last year. It's not anything groundbreaking, but I enjoy it. It's fresh and watery. There's a tea vibe in here. There's lotus, which is a watery type of floral. It is fresh. It is calming. It has you smelling clean without having you smell like soap or shower gel. It's just good stuff, and it's not totally generic. Bvlgari Man Rain Essence. For a casual day out, this fragrance is a perfect blend of a little bit of freshness with a little bit of warmth, and it's an off the beaten path indie brand based up in Montreal, Canada. This is called Aviation Club from Monsillage. No one talks about this brand, and you know, they don't really market very much, so I understand why people are not really seeing them. This fragrance was not even sent to me by the brand. It was actually sent to me by a friend who really wanted me to learn about the brand, and I'm glad they did. So thank you. You know who you are. And this is a very unique take on tobacco. It's a fresh, green, watery, metallic tobacco. And there's a little bit of whiskey in here that kind of makes up the darker side with that tobacco, but again, also lighter, slightly green and fresh. So it wears very, very easy, but it smells like nothing else I've smelled, especially in terms of other tobacco fragrances. I'm gonna link down to a discovery set for Monsillage in the description. Make sure you check them out. I don't get any kind of kickback for these fragrances, but I highly recommend them. They have a few others that are also phenomenal, but that is Aviation Club from Monsillage. Let's talk about a casual night out. From the house of Gucci, a fragrance that I originally wrote off when I first smelled it because it did smell kind of basic, but the more I smelled into it, the more I wore it and smelled it around me, I realized, you know what? Yes, this does have a little bit of a basic face, but beneath the skin, beneath the surface, there's actually some interesting elements moving around that kind of set it apart. This is called Guilty Eau de Parfum, based off of the original Guilty, but they've gone in a slightly new direction since they had a creative direction change. And I almost missed it with this one, but you can tell, okay, there is some more thought going into this. If you look at the note breakdown, you'll realize this is odd. There's like balsamic vinegar and salt working together with rose and some other things. You don't really smell all of those elements dissected next to each other, but you do get this unusual vinegary vibe that contributes to this opulent kind of ambery rosy feel, and the saltiness adds a little bit of this mineral quality. It does kind of come off almost basic, fresh, sweet, but again, there's other moving parts here that I can really appreciate that make it more interesting, but on the surface, really easy to wear. Perfect for a casual night out when you just want to smell pleasant. You want to have a freshness to you like you showered, because I hope you're showering, but there is a tiny bit of a sweet allure that will draw people in and just make people want to be closer to you and enjoy your scent. That is Gucci Guilty Eau de Parfum. Let's talk about date night. This fragrance is no stranger to the community, but it has been kind of shoved off to the side a little bit by its more current collections and flankers from this brand. Brand is Valentino. This is the one that started it all. The original Uomo. Good Lord, this stuff is so beautiful. Now, there is a newer bottle style that looks a little different from this. I'll put it right here. I don't know if it smells exactly the same. I haven't tried it. So if it doesn't, sorry, I don't have any control over that. But I imagine it's pretty much the same magic. This is an iris-based fragrance that I think when you look at the note breakdown doesn't show iris, but I get a pretty clear lipsticky, powdery iris, but it is surrounded by hazelnut and chocolate. It is mostly a gourmand fragrance, which is perfect for date night. It smells delicious, but there is a freshness, maybe from some mandarin orange or something, that brings a clean vibe. There's a clean masculine vibe, so you don't just smell like a dessert in a makeup bag. You do smell like a put together, confident man with a sensual side. Beautiful stuff to be next to. That is Valentino Uomo Formal. This is a fragrance that needs to have some oomph, but not be completely off the wall, not be completely abrasive and brash. Just needs some edge so that it has presence in a room full of other people trying to get everyone else's attention. And I'm recommending Amouage Boundless, a beautiful tobacco-based fragrance, but based on some bourbon vanilla and blood orange, and I think a lot of ginger. It is so spicy and so earthy and dark with this roughness to it, but there is a beautiful kind of creamy rich sweetness somewhere in the middle of all that. I wouldn't call it a vanilla fragrance, but there is a little bit of a sweetness that adds some smoothness, that adds an approachable quality to it, but it's still a fairly rough scent that smells wonderful. Let me know if you already enjoyed this stuff. If you haven't tried it, once again, samples down below in the description to check out Amouage Boundless. And if you haven't noticed by now, the reason why I'm putting samples in the description is to make sure that I'm not recommending you go out and you buy these fragrances right here, right now, today. This is not meant to be an instant gratification video. There's nothing wrong with taking this hobby slowly. Get samples, make sure you love them. If your nose likes what it's smelling and it's worth your money, then you can go ahead and buy it, but no hurry here. Okay, we talked about a formal event. We weren't trying to be too off the wall, but now let's talk about a standout fragrance. This is going to be edgy. This is going to be polarizing. It's not going to be for everyone, but if you can rock this with confidence, meaning that you love the scent before you put it on your body, then you're going to walk with an authoritative vibe. But again, not for everyone here. From the house of Guerlain, we have Bois Mysterieux. This is primarily a leather fragrance. I get a slightly brash, animalic leather and woods with this camphorous feel, almost like dark, tarry, mentholic quality to it. Hard to describe, but it is blended beautifully with myrrh resin. The myrrh, I think, acts as the glue that makes this a little bit more approachable, a little bit more elegant rather than just being brash. It's a slightly sweet, resinous, medicinal feel that is blended beautifully. But on the face, this is going to be an edgy fragrance, so I definitely do not recommend you blind buy this bottle. I tried this years ago. I was intrigued by it, but was also a little bit terrified about it. But I came back to it just last year, and I knew I would love it, and I loved it, so I'm glad I have it now. Bois Mysterieux from Guerlain. Okay. Guilty pleasure. What is this all about? This is kind of the opposite of what we just talked about. The guilty pleasure is a fragrance that, at least for me, I wouldn't typically wear unless I'm just trying to blend in. Quite literally, again, the opposite of the standout. This is going to be an easy breezy, pretty much basic fragrance, which I don't recommend often, but when I do, it's usually something that I find good, something that I still enjoy for the function I use it for. It might be something I only have on for anywhere from 3 to 5 hours before maybe I'll be showering and putting something else on, or it could act as your fragrance if you just want to blend in. You'll most likely forget you have it on. People may not even notice because it's probably something they've already smelled before. Not to say it doesn't smell good, but I'm talking about Burberry, Mr. Burberry. And this is the Eau de Toilette, the original, which has started a little bit of a collection. I also have the EDP, which is nice. It's actually a little bit more edgy than the EDT, but the first few fragrances from this collection were perfumed by the one and only Francis Kurkdjian. Fantastic perfumer. Don't need to say anything about him. That being said, this is a pretty basic fragrance, but it does have a little bit of something different about it. It's cardamom. It has a little bit of a green vibe, so it's fresh, spicy, green, a little bit citrusy, kind of a sour citrus from grapefruit. Dries down to a bit of a woody base, kind of shower gel-like, but not exactly like any other blue fragrance out there on the mainstream market. I appreciate it for that. I wear it usually for the gym if I do happen to wear it, but again, it's going to be likable. It's going to blend you right in. For me, it's a guilty pleasure because this is not the one I would be touting as my favorite fragrance ever because it's really nothing special, but it's nice. Mr. Burberry EDT. And the final category is kind of a weird one, but I'm going with it. We're calling this the anti-fragrance. This is kind of for those times when either you don't want to wear something. That only really happens for me when I'm sick. I might have a little bit of a head cold or something, and I don't really want to wear something pervasive or something that smells overly cologne-y or overly fragranced. Or maybe you're going to be around people who are relatively sensitive to fragrances and you just want to spray on a couple of sprays of something that doesn't smell overtly like a fragrance. It almost smells more natural, like a natural musk or natural freshness from the skin. I'm gonna go with this. Some of you might disagree, but I think this is perfect for that, especially when sprayed with moderation. From Zaharoff, we have Signature Royale X. And this is kind of a musky, woody citrus, but emphasis on the musk. If you're not a musk fan, you're not gonna like this. It smells like a natural, bear with me when I say this, sweaty human musk vibe, but in the cleanest way. Like you just took a shower and then maybe just did some jumping jacks for a few minutes. It's a clean sweat, but it's very natural smelling. The citrusy quality brings this uplifting vibe to it when you first spray it on. Again, overall it's clean and flies kind of under the radar when you don't spray too much of it. Maybe 2 sprays of this. I call it an anti-fragrance. So something to consider for those very specific times that you might encounter a couple times a year, but why not be prepared? That is Signature Royale X from Zaharoff. Well, that's my selection of Holy Grail fragrances for beginners. These are all fragrances I love to wear. Once again, I'm not guaranteeing that you will love to wear them. No reviewer can do that, but I do recommend that you sample them down in the description. Again, if you're looking for some recommendations. So let me know what you think of them in the comments if you've tried them already. And thank you so much for tuning in. Peace. I'll see you in the next one.